I've already done one as an example. I run it all the way along there and then get your board so you know it's 600. So you know where your line is. You get it walk round, it don't matter how it goes. Don't worry about it. Just know when this board flattens. See how you've got gaps like that? When it flattens, it spreads to about there. Get plenty on. Plenty on. I need a new tin of that. Then you can give it a couple of minutes, you don't have to rush. Don't get it on your hands. I like to just run it like that. When you get it down, give it a little wiggle like that. If you're doing it on a longer floor, what you do is you stagger it. So if this were on a longer floor, this would be a full board, that would be half a board or 3/4 board like that. Because where that's underneath the bath there, I'm just putting that in for my battens. When I put my battens on there to build my panel, just going to make it easier for me, so that's why I'm doing it. But if you were doing it on a staggered floor, you'd want to stagger it. So never run them in line like that. They'd always be stepped, like a brick fashion. Like so. That's how they'd go. Staggered. Then you get the screws, make sure you push it right up, nice tight joint. I see people using one screw to screw two boards down. Don't do that. Do it like that, one either side of it. Every 300. All the way around, all the way down the edges. And that is what you're expected to do. Then this floor will get tiled on and it'll never move. It will never move. More chance of the house coming down than this floor moving. Every 300, make sure they're flat, make sure they're going. You can judge where it's 300, 600 board, centre of the board. If you've got any pile work underneath, just move your bracket and put more brackets in. If you feel the floor is a bit movement somewhere, put some more brackets in. You have to do them every 300, but if you want to do them every 200, do them every 200. Do you know what I mean? If you want to do them every 100, do them every 100. It's up to you. But every 100 might be too much. See that? Beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's like a work of art. Just like a work of art. Now, not everybody does it like this. Some people do it different. Some people stick it down with adhesive. I don't use that adhesive. I use foam adhesive and screwing. But before I used to use the foam, I used to just use the screws and screw it down. Still never had a problem. That's what Marmax stated you to do in the instructions. You might find some old instructions from some Tom, Dick and Harry saying that you have to stick them down. It's a blag. If you screw them down, screws and washers, that's what's holding the boards down, not what's underneath it. So you will get a floor looking a bit like that. Now if you want to put odd one in here, there, everywhere, do it. More the merrier. More the merrier, kids. Do you know what I mean? More the merrier. That's what I do. More the merrier. Listen, I'm just going to put odd one in because I'm putting a batten on it. Going to be a batten running across there, but I still want it sticking down because I might stick my batten to that. And then if this ain't stuck down, what's going to stick it down? Right, and then we go on to the next stage. Next bit, do it exact same. Always turn your nozzles off. My mate leaves them open. Turn them off. Don't worry about cleaning the end of the drill. Wait until that dries it and just pop off. Same with this. I never do aught with that. I just let that dry on it. Turn your nozzle off. Now I'm going to change my gun. I never ever leave that empty ever. If it's empty, I'd leave the gun on it and just shut it off. And when I come to use it, I use my knife. Just scrape it, bish bash bosh. Beautiful. But this is a really good gun. That's not a bad gun, but not a very good gun. And then we'll crack on and do the rest. Right, floor's in, lovely. They need a crane to take this floor up now. What you got to remember is we're not fitting something for it to be took out. We're fitting it to last 10, 20 years without no problems. So you don't want to be going shy on stuff. It wants to last, and it wants to last right. In 20 years time, when they take this floor up, it's still going to be dry. It's still going to be dry because the tiles won't have cracked, the grout won't have cracked, and it's just going to be lovely. So then I swap to my Mega Stick. Then all I do is the expansion what I left for the plasterboarding. I just form it up. Form it up like that. And now that'll dry. I'll just cut it off flush. And then we'll be ready for tiling. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I need to chuck that waste up. I need to empty that bath just to double check everything. And then I'm going to run some hot water in it as well before I put the panel on. Because hot water can make stuff soft. So you're always better testing your waste with hot water. Because cold water, sometimes it might not leak. Hot water, you run it through it and it warms it up, loosens it. It can leak. So test it with both, hot, cold. Then we're going to do the panel. The thing we're going to do for this bath panel, the bath panel can't come in front of this leg. The tile's going to have to cover that leg because the tile has to go underneath the lip of the bath. Otherwise, it's just not going to fit. So the first thing you want to do, get your level on there, make sure it's level. Right across, mark your line, and then move it in 10mm. Do the exact same on the other side, move it in 10mm, and then we're going to put some battens on. But you draw your line 10mm in from your level, draw a line, and then you know when you put your panel on here, it's going to come in front of that. So that is going to be sticking out 10mm, which is going to allow us to put us wet wall on, and then to put a tile straight over that so you don't see it. So the lip's inside the bath. And it's vital, it has to be. So just take your time with it, do it, because if you do it wrong, knackered. So I've marked both ends here. And I mark 10mm on that one. Draw a line. That'll do. Then what we're doing, you're making sure that there's no bow on this panel. If there's a bow on it, it's no good. This tile's not going to bow. It needs to be flat. And then, in theory, we should be hitting that panel. And that's what we want. Because we're going to build this panel so it's just in front, just behind that, so his tile just goes over that. And then his tile's going to go straight underneath bath like that. So check it like that. And make sure you fix it, because if you don't fix it, it's just going to come out. And then use some bigger screws. That's not going to go through, is it, Lee? Some bigger screws. Always be aware what you're drilling into underneath. See that? That's just going through the floor. Beautiful. Now you know that's screwed in there, that's screwed in there, that's screwed on there. Now we're going to put some battens up here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that batten from the back of it, and then that's going to be his support. Same with that, I'm going to link that one to the back of this. I'll show you as we're going on. So I bought some battens the exact same size as the bath. Then I'm sticking it to the bath underneath nicely. What I'm doing, get my piece of wood in. Get my piece of wood in, and that's sitting on the bath, so the bath can't push down. Because I want this exactly in line, I'm drilling in one screw either side, stop it from twisting. And then I'm getting my square. So what I've done with my squares, I've gone into there, that's the exact same, that's the exact same, that's the exact same for the panel. So we know where the panel is. So push that on there like that, and that's where we want it. So I'll screw that up into the wood there. I'm screwing it into the fixed piece of wood first, and then when that other one goes off, it'll be stuck onto it. Beautiful. So that moved like that. So I'm drilling it straight through. Make sure you don't drill through bath. Make sure whatever screws you're putting in, they're not long enough to go through and through the bath. Otherwise you'll have a big problem. Beautiful. Then get square, double check it. Nice flush, and then we have to replicate that. Put one there, and then when we put the panel on and we cut this part out, there's going to be enough room. So we're going to have to cut it out from there. A little channel up there, little channel up there. So if we've got the wood supporting it there, supporting the board, and then when we tile it,